welcome back to Her Reality. This is such an amazing time, such an amazing conversation, and I am your host, Maureen Casey. Today, things are a little bit different. We are talking about mental health. Today is the last episode of this month for mental health awareness. So I'm going to bring it home and we're going to talk real personal. So I hope that's okay. Grab your coffee, grab your drink, you know me, lemon water for the win. But we're going to be talking about mental health. Right now, we're going to be talking about mental health during the pandemic. And we're just going to be talking about mental health in general. So I just want to start by saying that everybody's journey is different and it's okay. No matter what the journey is, no matter what your journey looks like, it's fine. There's a lot of comparison, right? Like my depression is worse than yours, or my anxiety is worse than yours, or oh no, you don't have it that bad. If you think that's bad, you should try like this, or I don't subscribe. Like, I don't like that. I don't agree at all. I have a really hard time with those types of conversations because it is what it is. Like, we all experience things differently and we all have different journeys. I had somebody try to tell me one time that I wasn't really depressed. Like, okay. Cool. I also had someone tell me one time that I didn't have anxiety and that it was all made up in my head, which is true. Like that's literally what anxiety is. Thank you for that. So explain to me the panic attacks, right? Like it is what it is. And we're all a little bit different and it comes and it goes and we handle things differently. And there's a lot of things I just kind of want to open up the conversation about, and I just want to have the floor on for a moment. And so let's just start with stigmas. Let's just throw it out there. That's where I'm at right now. So first of all, medication. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of sides. Okay. I personally believe, and one of my friends, she thinks that I'm so crazy for this. She thinks that it's so funny and I am so serious, so genuine. You can be on whatever side you want to be on. Like you really can. And her and I originally had this conversation when we were talking about things like antibiotics and vaccines and that sort of thing, or going homeopathic, natural, and so on. And I truly believe it's a personal thing and it's an experiential thing, right? Like what have you gone through? What have you experienced? And those are going to change your decision, and that's okay. And so if you choose medication, then that's fine. And if you choose a different type of medication, then that's fine. Like someone tried to tell me that medical marijuana isn't actually a medication and that it needs to come in a pill, which it does, by the way. It absolutely does come in pill form. But that's not actually a medication, And so my point behind saying this is there's so many stigmas. And the first one is just simply medication. What is it? Should you take it? Should you not take it? If you take it, then you're this. If you don't take it, then you're this. Look, we're all just trying to survive. Like we're all just trying to survive. And you need to do what is best for you. I tried anxiety medication and I've got a bottle of it, okay? Do I use it? No, not on a regular basis. It's not for me. I don't like the way I feel. I don't really like who I am. I don't get work done. Like I'm not productive. It's just not for me. Now, plenty of people told me that I would get used to it and I would figure out how to work and how to operate and I would be productive again. Just not for me, right? And that's fine. That's fine. And so instead, I use it when I know I'm going to need it, right? Like my husband's company got like a lake house for everyone for the 4th of July. And I don't know, there was like 12 of us there. It was like all of the managers and their families. And so, and Josh and I were the smallest party. It was just the two of us. And I was in this house with all these people, and if you know me, that doesn't go well. I pick up on people's energies. I can shut it off, but it's really hard. And then there's, being away from my daughter, and then I feel guilty for having fun. And it's just a really stressful time to be out. And then I also don't drink. And then there's people out there like drinking, and then they're partying, and like, I'm a highly anxious person, and people are like drunk jumping off of cliffs. And I'm like, oh my God, right? So I had to do what I had to do, and I needed my medication. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. It's okay. Do I take it every day? No. But if you need to, and that's what's working for you, and that's what's given you access to living your best life, then that's great. But if you feel like it is suppressing you somehow and you want to try something else, don't let somebody guilt you out of that either. Like, that's your right as well. Okay? Okay, so that's my thing on medication. I've actually got quite a few topic suggestions in here, so I just want to make sure I'm not missing any notes or anything. But stigma, and let me know how you feel. Let's chat on IG, get into the Facebook group. I'll have this conversation with you. Drop it in the comments. Let's go. Let's go. I am here for it. I am 100% here for it. Another thing that I really want to talk about is pushing yourself. One, through the pandemic, but also pushing yourself when it comes to your mental health. So a lot of times people want to just like get back to it as fast as possible, or hide from whatever they're going through. I know now I'm good, but I used to have this really bad thing where I didn't allow myself to heal. So I would go through a cycle, and I would end up getting depressed because when I was going through all of my anxiety and everything that was going on, I was trying to suppress it. And instead of allowing myself the space, and instead of feeling it, and instead of working on it, and instead of going through everything, I would run. I would be like, no, this isn't for me. I'm basically just like, this isn't, like, it's not happening. And push it away. And then I'd be like, mentally, right? Like, I have to be ready. I have to be this CEO. Like, I have to be this wife. I have to be this mom. Like, I have to be all these things. And I would push myself to be somebody or to be somewhere that I wasn't ready to be at. And then that would lead to the depression because I was failing and I was miserable, and the downward spiral that it is when you go through that kind of thing. So don't push yourself. Don't mentally push yourself. Like, yes, do mental exercises. Go outside and get moving. This is a huge tip when it comes to mental health. Get moving, especially if you're someone who feels pressure all the time. I am that person. Like, I am always stressed out. I thrive under pressure. I am a stress type person. Like, I am always, always, always under pressure. Like, I am just, my husband thinks it's crazy. Okay. And if you're that person, it's okay. If you're that person, you just need to know that you need to put yourself under stress so that stress doesn't control your life. There is a difference between good and bad stress, and it does contribute to your mental health. So for me, since I am such a stressor, most people with anxiety are, I need to work out. I need to physically get that energy out. But I'm also a very whimsical person. So one type of workout doesn't work for me. I have multiple gym memberships. I'm not ashamed to admit that. Like, I'm okay with it. I have this beautiful studio gym that's an infrared sauna, and I get to go in there and I get to cycle, right? Or maybe one day I want to do yoga or whatever. There's so many different workouts I can do, Pilates, all these different things. I love it. I get to change it up. I love the sweat. It's quick. It's easy. Bam, boom, good. I also love to push myself to the limits. So I work out with my husband at a bodybuilding gym because don't we all just love being super uncomfortable and out of our territory and being like this super scrawny little person, just like, yeah, I'm gonna go push weights with my husband. I don't look good, but it's okay. Like, I don't care because I love doing it. I look ridiculous. I know that. I'm fine with that because I want to push myself to the max because I need to get that energy out. But also, you're pushing something inside of you. You're mentally saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. Oh, but I just did it. But wait, But wait, fives? Like I used to be pumping the fives and now I'm like, look at me on the eights, right? Like, it's okay. You don't have to be curling 45s. Like, it's okay. So let's get back to the pushing, right? Like, push yourself. Yeah, push yourself. Get moving. Okay, get moving. Get outside. When I say push yourself, I don't mean tell yourself like, oh, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. No. Okay, that doesn't actually work. You can't trick your brain like that. You have to do something to trick your brain. Okay, do something. That's why people eat ice cream. Okay, like, oh, I'm depressed. And I am mocking myself. I'm not mocking anyone else. This is literally me. I used to eat tubs of ice cream. It's who I was. Sit there, oh, I'm depressed. I'm gonna eat. Where does that come from? Ice cream used to be a celebration. It used to be a treat, right? So what do? We eat our feelings and we're like, oh, I want to feel better about myself. I'm going to eat my feelings away. You're actually, even though you don't realize it, you're trying to trick your brain into thinking something happy, something fun, something exciting, something good is happening. And that's why you're eating. Okay. So don't do that. Those are not the best habits to have, especially in quarantine when we can't necessarily go work out or get out as often to get rid of all of that extra ice cream weight. I call it the depression weight that I gained, which I have lost over 13 pounds of depression weight very recently. Go look at my before and afters. I'm very proud of it. But one of the things that I did, right, this is part of my journey. One of the things that I did is I went outside. Yes, even during quarantine, and I walked around my neighborhood. There are studies that show that if you walk outside and you look at the horizon for at least 10 minutes, anxiety and depression start to go down. So go outside for a walk, get some fresh air, get some vitamin D. It stimulates you. It moves the energy within you. It allows your body to circulate. It allows you to get your blood oxygen levels rising, hopefully. You know, you're just going for a little walk. Don't push yourself. Once again, we're not doing anything crazy physical. You don't have to push yourself like that. When I'm depressed, I'm not going to go run 10 miles. Well, sometimes I am because I need to, and I know that. Like, I just need to run until I collapse, and that's okay. That's okay. But just get out, right? Like, just get out. That's huge. So physically, don't push yourself, though. There's a lot of people out there that are like, I'm going to do all these projects. I'm going to do all these things. I've got this huge list. I'm going to clean out all my closets. I'm going to DIY this. I'm going to da-da-da-da-da-da. We're not all designed for that. We're not all Pinterest people. We're not all at-home hair gurus. We're not all those things. And that's okay. Not knowing that that's okay causes a lot of anxiety and depression. It's bad for your mental health, especially when we're stuck inside, we're not relating to humans very well, and now we're on social media and we're hearing from all of these different people how well they're doing and how great it is, and oh, I've been so productive, and oh, I've done this, and oh, I've done that. And now we're in comparison-itis, okay? So don't push yourself. Like, you do you, boo-boo. You do you. I'm a projector, so I need a lot of sleep. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is your human design type. I'm not going to get into this a ton, but this is part of my story, okay? And I needed to understand this about myself and about my family dynamic to really understand what I was feeling. Not only am I a projector, most of my centers are open. I only have 2 defined centers, which means I'm constantly absorbing people's energy all the time. Which is why I was saying, hello, I need the anxiety medicine when I go to places where I'm going to be like, with people, okay? Concerts, all the things, anxiety medication. I need to be a zombie in those moments because stealing off my energy is not always enough. I can't turn off the vibes. And so for me, I used to get really depressed because I couldn't keep up with everybody else. I am designed to relax. I'm designed to hold the world together simply by resting, by sitting on the couch and being myself. Okay, that's who I am. But my husband, he's a generator type. He is designed to literally build civilization. Both of my parents are generator types. Actually, all 3 of my parents, my mom, my dad, and my stepdad, all generator types. Go freaking figure. So as a child, here I am thinking I'm supposed to do all the things and be all the things and like I can just accomplish all these things. And my mom used to always tell me, like, honey, you're not the same. And you need to quit doing this. This is why you're crashing and burning. And she said I only had two modes. I was on or I was off. I was either go, 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 or I was collapsed. And that was it. And the reason is because I was so out of balance, because I pushed myself, because I tried to be somebody I wasn't, because in my world that I was submerged in, I wasn't like everybody else. I was literally not like everybody else. I'm not. I'm a very small percent of people as projectors. Okay, the biggest percent of people are the generators. We're surrounded by them. Over 70% of the population are generators, you guys. It's huge. It's crazy. So if you're feeling like maybe isolation is good for you and you like kind of having a little bit of space to yourself and all of the buzz is kind of crazy right now and you just need a break, and then don't keep up with everybody's DIY projects. Everybody that's doing all of the crazy things indoors and they have all these projects going on, they're probably the generators that they can't go outside and build civilization, so they're rebuilding their house, right? Like they're just DIYing the heck out of everything. You don't have to be that person, and that's okay. So I wanted to make sure I say that because that was huge for me when it came to my mental health, was realizing that I don't have to be that person. I'm not that person. It's okay. Like I can relax and be just as valuable. I don't have to do all of these things. I don't have to have all these projects. Matter of fact, my job is to say, hey baby, I really want this done. Can you do this? Like when I said, hey honey, I really want my office painted. And he took me to the paint store and helped me pick out the color, and he painted the whole thing. I just kind of did some things here or there, you know, like I just kind of showed up for it. That's how I'm supposed to work. And the moment I owned myself and I owned that kind of power and who I was, that is when I realized I was a badass boss bitch. Okay. All right. So, but seriously though, that has a lot to do with my mental health, because I was going crazy beforehand, right? I was trying to be everyone else. I was tearing myself apart. My mental health, like my self-talk was terrible because I wasn't honoring who I really was. I hope that hits home for some people. Other things here really quick. Okay. Oh, you know what? My mom and I were talking about this. Get help. Like, get help. Okay. Get a life coach if you're ready to make some shifts, or maybe you want some more hands-on experience. Get somebody that's reputable. Really do your research. Like, don't just jump into it. You know, I've been in the game for so many years. I have so many different certifications. I love human design. Like, that's what I do. It's a huge tool that I do. I love it. Okay. But I'm certified in NLP. I'm a certified life coach, right? Like I have other things under my belt. I have a degree in mass media communication. Like I've studied interpersonal communications and psychology and just all of these different things. Like I have some experience and I walk the walk. Okay. So there's good people out there, but you can also get remote help in other ways. It's not just life coaches that are remote anymore. It's amazing. Telemedicine is now a huge thing. So you can see a counselor remotely. You can see a therapist remotely, I'm pretty sure, and they can still prescribe you medication. So if you're dealing with anxiety or depression right now, get help. If you are dealing with abuse right now, get help. There are suicide hotlines. There are abuse hotlines. There are different things that you can do. You can send me a private message. Send me a private message with your address and just say, hey girl, I am so excited to getting my order from you. Here's my shipping address. Thanks once again. You know, just thank me for the order. I will absolutely call the police and send them to your house on a wellness check. 100%. 100%. No questions asked. No questions asked. Don't put anything else. Nothing suspicious. They can go to my page. They can look around. What are they going to find? They're going to find that I'm an influencer. Who the fuck knows what I sold you? I sold you something, and that's okay. Right? Get help though. It's okay to get help. It's okay to talk to your friends. It's okay to reach out. It's okay to initiate the conversations. It is okay. It is safe. And if you don't feel safe yet, come to our group. Please come to our Facebook group. Come to our Facebook group, Her Reality Facebook group. We will talk to you. We will keep you safe. We will send you resources. We will do whatever it takes. Okay. So just get the help you need. I personally love virtual therapy. I love that I get to do it from my own home. I love that, I'm there with my phone and I feel safe and comfortable. But I will give you some tips here. Make sure that you plan a time when no one else is home. If you're not comfortable talking around other people, you don't have any distractions, you've got your water and everything ready. Like just be present. You know what I mean? At home, there's a lot of distractions, and that's the hardest thing. Like you can get distracted easily. Don't do it. Like try not to get distracted. Okay. And we're here to help. So if you need any resources, just let us know. So let me turn you guys on to a few things, just as far as mental health goes. I'm sure you guys know this, but mental health and physical health actually go hand in hand. A lot of times, if you are having any type of mental health issues, whether it's just self-talk or something bigger like depression or even suicide, then definitely get help, but get moving as well. So try yoga, try a regular practice, go to the gym, get an accountability partner, do workouts at home, but make sure that you get moving. Okay, make sure that you get moving. It is huge. My mental health has been a struggle. It's been a really big thing. Growing up, I was taught that my mental health was obsolete. First of all, it didn't matter. Anytime I felt like I was going through something and I wanted to voice it, I was immediately shot down. When I finally had the opportunity to go to counseling, I didn't feel safe and I wouldn't talk and I didn't open up. Finally, in high school, it got to the point where I closed off everything. I didn't have any real friends. Well, that's not true. I had one or two like real friends, but everyone else, they were just people that saw one side of me. Like they saw the me at school. They didn't know that I cried myself to sleep every single night. They didn't know that I was burning myself. Like they didn't know that I was cutting myself. They didn't know that I wanted to die. They didn't know the prayers that I had been praying about how insignificant my life was, right? Like they didn't know. And the sad thing was that they looked at me as the Christian girl. And that was really the path of destruction to me, is that they saw me as so good that they didn't understand that I was still human. Or they did, but I didn't understand that they understood that I was still human, right? And so I ended up leaving high school extremely depressed, extremely self-conscious, eating disorders intact, just great, just living my best life. Ended up pregnant. Well, moving away first. Let me say that I moved from California to Oklahoma, and about a year after that move, or maybe 2 years, I don't know. Yeah, 2 years. No, a year later, I got pregnant. 2 years after is when I ended up having my daughter, right? 2 years after I moved total. I moved out in 2011, 2013. I had my daughter, and I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. I hated my body. I hated my life. I was really young. I didn't have a support system. My family had moved here. I felt guilty for that. They were holding it over my head. My ex and I weren't together, but we were like trying to co-parent, and that's really sticky. And his family was completely unsupportive, which sucked because they had been such a huge part of my life for so long. And right, like it was so much. And so I ended up more depressed than I was before, which was crazy because like it set me free, but then I still ended up super depressed. It got to the point of suicide, and I literally was driving, trying to figure out how I was going to crash my car to make it look like an accident, so that way at least there wasn't like family shame type of a thing, or so it wasn't like a weird thing, or so my daughter wasn't like the kid of a suicide parent, like, I don't know. I just didn't want that. I didn't want any of that. Is it shallow? I don't know, but I just didn't want any of that. I also had already looked into my life insurance policies to make sure that if I committed suicide, I was still going to be covered, all of those sort of things. I was also fully licensed in all of that, so I could read my own policies, wrote my own policies, knew what they were, knew the dates, all of the things, knew exactly what she got, had it all set up, knew whose bank account it was going to. It was like, it was done. Like, it was good. It was ready. And I prayed a different prayer, and I said, Lord, if you help me figure this out, you help me figure out how to be happy, how to actually do this, like, live her best life thing, I'm going to show everybody, I'm going to show the world. And every single time I find something, or I think I'm getting closer, I share it. And that's exactly what this podcast is about. It's about creating real conversations, because I realize that women are in a jail because we don't have the right conversations, right? We're not empowered. We're not out there actually talking about the things that matter, right? Like next week's episode, we're going to be talking about sex and masturbation. Well, there's a lot of stigmas around that. There's a lot of people who aren't going to want to hear it. And that really sucks, because it's okay and it's safe, right? Like, there's a lot of stigmas around so many things. And if we don't talk about it as women, we are putting the duct tape over our own mouths. Like, we are doing that. That's on us. That's our own fault. And I don't want that. And that's why this conversation, this podcast is so important to me, because we're going to break all that up. Like, we're going to get out there and we're going to change the world by having these conversations. And I truly, truly, truly believe that. Like, that's a huge thing to me. But back then, that's not what it was. Back then, it was just loving myself. And that's why my website originally was Love is Change. And then my email is still Maureen@loveischange.com. That's what Love is Change was all about. That's what that message represented, because love was the only change that really needed to happen. If I could love myself more, right? If I learned to love myself first, if I love myself more than anybody else, everything was going to be okay. And I needed to learn that. And in every situation, you can't change somebody else's mind ever. That's why arguing with people, it doesn't work, because you're just defensive. Like, it just doesn't work. You can't change somebody, but you can love somebody. And if they choose to change, then awesome. And if they don't, then at least you got to love them while you had a relationship with them. That's just how it goes, right? Like, that's just how it is. And that's why that name was so important to me. And so I get so fired up talking about that. Like, I get so fired up about it. But I had to love myself first. And it's important that you take the time to do all of that. And, that was a huge part of my healing process. And so I brought that forth. And that's when I became a life coach. And I went through all of that because I wanted to help women drop the baggage. And I used to run programs called things like Be Your Own Kind of Badass. And I'm so proud of them. And I would help women really own who they were and step up and dive in. And that's why I got certified in NLP, because I wanted to help people drop the baggage, right? Let go of the things that were holding them back. I wanted to be able to really create change in their life. I got into human design for the same reason, because I saw it and I was like, this makes sense. This is it. I can look at this and I can help people understand their gifts. I can help people understand who they are and their talents, and why they do what they do, and why they interact with certain people the way they do, and why they feel so much pressure in certain areas, or so inspired certain times and uninspired other times. And I felt this huge, deep connection to human design, because I felt this huge, deep connection to shining a light on who you really are as a human and your natural gifts and abilities. And so that's been the mission all along. And that's why Mental Health Awareness Month, May, is so important to me. It's so incredibly important, because my mental health has been an up and down. It's been a roller coaster. It's been this long, long, long journey. And I swear, every time I get better, right? Every time I go through a little dip, every time I go through a little spell, every time I have to walk through that valley, I come out the other side with another tool, with a sharper sword, right? I'm breathing fire. And I'm okay with that, because I have the tools and I have the resources and I have the experience. I can sit here and I can help you, and I can listen to you, and I can understand, and I can reason if I have to, and I can just be here with you, and I can let you know that it's okay. And it might not feel okay today, and it might not feel like it's going to get better, but it is up to you. And I hated that advice, but it is up to you. And maybe today, the only decision you have to make is to continue to live. And I hope that for you. I do. Because there is somebody out there right now who would be so sad without you. There's somebody out there right now, and you don't even realize it. You don't even know. But the moment you're gone, all these people are going to come out of the woodworks, and they're like, man, he, she, used to make me laugh in school. Because of that person, I was able to finish that assignment. Because of that person, I, did this thing at work. I never would have actually become this, and this had this person not said this one thing at this one time. You're that person. You're that person to somebody. And if you're not, go be that person. Go be that person right now. Go speak life. Whatever it is that you need, you speak and you will receive it. If you're feeling like you need love, go love on somebody. Go send 5 of your friends loving text messages right now. Hey girl, I miss you. I know we're separated because of this pandemic, but I'm thinking about you. I'm here for you. I can't wait to catch up. Let's go get coffee. You're my girl. I love you. Right? Send a message to your mom, whoever. Send out those messages. If you're feeling like maybe you're a little bit stressed out, what is the opposite of stress, right? You want to be feeling free. So what do you need to do to feel free? Start with some easy tasks. Easy peasy tasks. Something that makes you feel free could be taking off your bra. It could be blaring the music and dancing around the living room, getting those vibes on, right? Like, get after it. Go have fun. Get on TikTok and dance. Like, literally, TikTok helped save me so many times. You guys, I have so many TikTok accounts. It's not even funny. I delete them. I add them. I delete them. Like, I have one now that I'm swearing I'm not deleting and I'm just going to keep and I'm going to use consistently. But I have used TikTok as a way to express myself and to dance it out. I have recorded myself crying and dancing over and over and over until I can do the dance without crying. Yes, I know earlier I said don't force yourself, but this is me being silly. And this is just like, hey, I might not be forcing myself to work today, but I am going to force myself to loosen up. I'm going to force myself to get silly. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to do something. All right. So do what you need to do. Create a routine. Get the help. Share your experience. But overall, take an evaluation and constantly change it. Okay. Until you find what works for you. Once you find something, and like, if you're that person that's like, routine is key, and you got to keep it, then do it. But don't think it's one size fits all, right? I tried a routine for a week and it didn't really work out. It didn't fit. I reevaluated, made some adjustments that I thought would work better, tried that. It felt closer, but it wasn't quite right. And I kept tweaking it until I found a morning routine that really worked for me. That morning routine actually led to this vision of this space that I'm going to be creating. And I can't wait to share that with you guys. So just allow yourself to flow, okay? Whatever you're going through, whatever you're struggling with, get help, find somebody, talk to somebody, reach out, start the conversation. You do not have to go through it alone. You don't have to be judged for it. And you don't even have to subscribe to whatever somebody else is telling you to do. It is you, it is your body, it is your life, it is whatever you want to do. But get options, and it's okay to have options. It's okay to talk to a counselor and get their opinion. It's okay to talk to a trusted friend and get their opinion. It's okay to go out and to talk to a doctor that is open to medicinal marijuana. It is okay to go out and to try acupuncture or massage therapy or chiropractic or whatever. Like, it is okay to continuously go and to do and to try. And if yoga doesn't work for you, that's okay. That's okay. I don't like sitting and meditating for a long period of time, but I can walk and meditate forever. So figure out what works for you. Mental health is all about you, because your mind, it's here, it's inside of you. You have to do it. You're the only one that can do it. And I cannot urge you enough to just do it, to start facing it. So here's what I want you to do just to get started. I just want you to write, how am I feeling right now? Like right in this moment. And just take that evaluation. Matter of fact, go one better and set an alarm on your phone for 3 random times throughout the day, every single day for the next week. And have on there, how am I feeling? And every single time it goes off, evaluate. How am I feeling right now? Do I need some water? Am I feeling kind of tired? Do I feel good about this? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I doing good? Am I okay? Like, why am I happy? Why am I sad? Why am I frustrated? Like, what is going on? You will be surprised at what you realize. All of that frustration could have been avoided had you just walked the dogs that morning. Or maybe it could have been avoided had you put away that pile of clothes first, right? Put it away instead of letting it sit there, because now it's sitting there staring at you, taunting you all day long and your day has been ruined and frustrated and just wrecked and you're in a terrible mood now, all because the laundry stared at you all day. But had you done an evaluation, you would have realized that, you would have taken care of it. 20, 30 minutes later, you would have been back to having your best day. So do that. I want to leave you with those words of wisdom. And once again, check out the Facebook group. I love chatting with you guys. There is a way for you to go ahead and submit anonymous topics. So if you are interested in that, the link is in the description here, but you can also find that in the Facebook group. It's pinned. Make sure you're doing that. We're always looking for those ideas. And if you want to be featured, we're actually going to start featured. We're going to do a feature Friday in the Facebook group, possibly over into other social media platforms. So if you are a small business owner or anything of the sort and you would like to be featured, reach out to me. Let me know what you do, what your products are, services are, that sort of thing. And let's talk. We're going to get that started here pretty soon. And I am super excited about that. Don't forget to go ahead and rate us and leave some comments letting people know how your experience was so that they can find us and they can join the conversation as well. Until next week, it's been great. And I will talk to you soon. Have an awesome time, you guys. Happy Monday. And let's keep this conversation going. Bye.